Hey guys, this is Juan with the Cine-Men Movie Podcast, letting you know that this episode is brought to you by San Marcos Mexican Restaurant, located right here at 2301 Southwest 59th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Don't forget they have weekday specials Monday through Friday, and don't forget to let Abel know that the Cine-Men Movie Podcast sent you in for a 10% off your order. And don't forget frozen or on the rocks Wednesday margarita. It's the perfect medicine to get you through that hump day with great food and even better customer service. It's the only restaurant of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast.
A piece of me?
Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
You do? You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Happy Monday, moviegoers. Welcome to episode 203. Welcome to Nope, and welcome to the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Juan, and I'm joined by the cast, the crew, the guys. Craig. Can't hear you, Craig. Zach.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Craig.
Yo.
Edward.
What's up, folks? How's it going?
We have Edward and his one fan right behind him. We are here Monday, brand new show. Sorry for the 7-minute delay, technical difficulties. That's one thing you have to deal with when you're going live. But guys, it's Monday, and not only is it hotter than last week's subject matter, but it is fire today. We're talking about Nope. Craig, we'll start with you. How was your weekend?
Short. Went and saw Nope with you. Had a good time. We held hands, shared popcorn. You know, real lovers date. And then I just watched a lot of movies this weekend. Movies, TV shows, just a lot of stuff. And taking a lot of stuff.
It looks like I lost my mojo and you somehow caught it because it was a slow week for me. We'll get into a little bit later on. Ed, what about you, man? How was your weekend?
Not too bad. Gone and seen Nope this actually just yesterday, so yeah, there's that. Got to do some fun stuff here and there over the weekend, and yeah, not too shabby.
Good. Zach, what about you? Did you have a good weekend?
That was all right. Didn't really feel good all weekend, so you know how it is.
Man, you guys, I'm pumped. I'm excited. It's a new brand new episode. It's Monday. I'm here talking with you guys. We're 5 days away from our live event this Sunday at Rodeo Cinema, which we're going to talk a little bit later on about.
That's why you're excited.
I am excited. Not only am I excited for that, but guys, it's Monday. It's a brand new episode. We're live. Imasawa Productions, YouTube. We're giving away and unboxing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness live in the middle of this episode. And then just a lot of great things to talk about. And I could not pick any other time or any other great people to talk to about it than with you guys right here. If you guys did not listen or watch last week's episode, last week we talked all about Malcolm X. You can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts at. Fun episode, tremendous conversation between me, myself, and Jack. I thought it was just a flat out conversation. You guys can go back, like I said, anywhere you listen to podcasts at. Spotify, Anchor, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music. This YouTube channel right here, you can watch us. And then don't forget, you can check us out on Prescribed Films Network at www.prescribedfilms.com, hashtag the PFPN. You guys can check us out there as well, as well as a bunch of other great podcasts. social on fire, guys. You can check us out. Digital copies given away all the time. The Twitter is at Cine-Men405. The Instagram is all one word, the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. The Facebook is facebook.com/the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. Or you can email us, which is the quicker way to get us our attention. CINEMEN921@gmail.com. So should be fun. And then, guys, we'll get into a little bit later on a movie news. But the schedule was released today. We're doing A24 the entire month long, starting this Sunday with Everywhere, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And then the week after that, August the 8th, we'll be talking about Marcel the Shell with shoes on. Ed, I think he's going to show up without shoes.
Hey.
August 15th, we're going to be talking about Bodies, which is the new A24 movie, which comes out literally that week. The week after that, August 22nd, talk about Men. Edward, that's your favorite subject matter. And then August 29th, we're going to be talking about X. I don't know about you guys, but you notice the movies are getting darker and darker as we head into September. And then we're kicking September off with 20th anniversary of Signs. It'll be Monday. Sorry. No. Monday, August the 5th is to our 4-year anniversary. And then September 12th is going to, so should be a fun September. And those are the movies that we have for September. So
be a good week, good month. I mean, good month.
Good month. Yeah. I have no idea times, but I be fun. But let's get into speaking of where we're going to be at this Sunday. Let everybody know about some rodeo.
Yeah, Rodeo Cinema. Like you said, Johnny, we're going to be there this coming Sunday, July the 31st, doing a live lobby show with Everything Everywhere All at Once, starting off our A24 month. Rodeo Cinema, located at 2221 Exchange Avenue, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, located in the stockyards of Oklahoma City. If you want to go and check them out before our show, they're currently showing Elvis and today's feature of the show, Nope. So go check them out. Tell them that the Cine-Men Movie Podcast sent you, and just to support a great organization.
And then a little bit later, we will be giving away a digital copy of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, a whole almost 12 hours before a physical copy. So, but it's a girthy segment today, talking all about some movie news in this huge segment. So I'll bring up the first really, I guess the first big is Comic-Con. All the Marvel movies got released. DC also had some fun at Comic-Con. The Rock was there. Phase 5 and 6, depending on what you want to keep with. A lot of it got announced this past weekend at Comic-Con. And it really started with you got the Secret Invasion, spring of 2023. We already knew about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th, 2023. Echo, summer of 2023. Craig, you nailed this a few weeks ago. Loki, summer 2023, season 2. The Marvels comes out July 28th, 2023. And then really announced at Comic-Con, Blade, November of next year. Ironheart, fall of 2023. And then it looks like, are you guys upset that they're also just hammering down our throats all these series? Now it looks like we're gonna have to try to keep up with before we see the movies. Before we'll get into this.
I mean, that's kind of what we had pointed to beforehand was, it's one thing to go and sit through. Phase 3 had, 22 movies total?
Yeah.
And so it was tough to go in and sit through all that whenever you were leading into that. And now you're having to go through not only, 10, 12 movies of Phase 4, but 5 to 7 TV shows. And that's just for Phase 4.
Yeah.
So
Well,
at what point is too much content bad content?
I mean, it depends on kind of their quality, for that matter. Because I mean, honestly, if it's quality, most people are going to go ahead and be fine with it. But I mean, if it keeps roller coastering, then especially if it ends with a bad point, begins very strongly, in the middle is kind of better, but kind of worse at times. And at the end, it just bombs itself, or even the reverse. At the end, it's just the best thing. You got to keep your fans and
I think
your,
it's going to
your
be
audience intrigued.
I think it's going to be far from the best. I don't know. I just don't see shows like Ironheart. Looks like that might be a show. Agatha is going to be a show. Daredevil is going to be a show. Captain America NWO style is going to be a movie May 3rd, 2024. And then you got Thunderbolts July 2024. As a typo, but when they released the 2 Avengers, did I get that right? We're getting both Avengers movies in 2025.
6 months apart.
Pretty much back to back, yeah.
One in May 2025, and then one in November 2025.
Yeah, the Kang Dynasty is May, and Secret Wars is in November.
I don't know, man.
They're going to be it's probably going to be a part 1, part 2, like very, very closely. Like, I know there was some things between Infinity War and Endgame, which was Captain Marvel is between them.
Captain Marvel and
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Black Widow was before.
Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel were between them.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to end and begin with Kang Dynasty and the other one.
Like Edwards.
Phase 6 opens with Fantastic Four. So,
like Edward said, I agree. Like, if you're pushing out all content and it's good work and it's good, then pat yourself on the back. I think it's gonna be far from that. We're gonna get almost the exact same mixture last 2 years. We're gonna get some movies that are okay, and then some stuff that's just, not even good. So we'll see.
I mean, again, we're going, at this point, that's like 1,000+ hours of content. I mean, if we're going to get to the point of you have to watch season 2 of Loki and episode 3 of Agatha to understand
Echo, because Daredevil goes into it, then it's going to be like, okay, this is.
Or you have to watch the first 2 at 10 episodes of Daredevil and understand Blade. You're just like, how many people are really going to sign up and do that?
And speaking of, here at the Pie, I like to bring not only good news and good, not only good news and Marvel news, but we're also going to just talk about stuff that maybe people out there haven't heard of because they don't live in Oklahoma. The Summer Heat has defeated Sylvester Stallone. I don't know if you guys know this, but Sylvester Stallone has been a little worn down because the heat has just knocked him out.
KO.
You guys hear about that?
I did not hear about that.
No, but I can imagine because it is brutal right now. 103, 102.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's rough out there. Literally seeing the video of a guy cooking an egg in a frying pan on the street. So, there's that.
David Warner passed away, 80 years old. Also, Paul Serrano passed away as well at 83. 2 great legends in their time. David Warner has been in movies like Tron, Titanic, a bunch of other movies as well. What about the Black Panther trailer, guys? You guys check out the Black Panther trailer?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be the only one that I watch. It was enough for me.
Yeah.
Saw the little Ironheart teaser, saw Namor, saw the Black Panther suit, whoever it's
Yeah.
going to be. That's all I need to see. I don't need to see anything else.
Little short and sweet there, Zach. Are you good? Did you appreciate the Black Panther trailer?
Yeah. I mean, like Craig said, that's all. I mean, it's kind of like the first trailer for Nope. That's all I need to see. You know, it truly, you're paying respect to Chadwick Boseman and then kind of setting up the next phase of Wakanda. So, I mean, that's pretty much what this movie's job is supposed to do anyway. So,
Yeah, leads you on just enough to keep you interested. I mean, they're wrong. Hopefully, they're going to keep hiding, you know, the beef of what's going on, as well as what has or who has taken over as the Panther, for that matter. And we can go from there. Because honestly, like I said, I'm still on my thoughts from a while back, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, and I mean, you can kind of narrow it down.
Yeah.
You see, Winston Duke's character. You see him out of, in his normal get up that he was during the first movie.
right.
You see, Ironheart being introduced, and she's in red, so you can kind of almost immediately point to, hey, that's Riri Williams. That's who that's going to be. But at the end, you see the Black Panther suit, and it's real slim, which makes you think that it's going to be Shuri.
Yeah.
And I'm still pretty sure it's her, just because of comics and all that stuff like that. But I mean, they could twist it around and go from there. So we'll see.
We were, I was talking about it at work with some of my coworkers, and one of them had a theory about what if, I don't think they're going to do this, but what if they actually use Chadwick Boseman in the suit, like they just keep him covered in the entire get up in the outfit, and they use just recycled dialogue and everything, and then that way he could still be in the movie and still play T'Challa, but we don't actually physically see him.
Well, I mean,
I don't think. I mean, I'm assuming that they would have to get permission from his family to do that, which I mean, I don't.
Not really for the character, because they own the rights to the suit, T'Challa,
Right.
all that stuff.
But if they took off the mask, they would have to.
Right.
But if he's completely covered, then it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah,
And I hope, because to me that would feel like it cheapens his legacy.
And that's why I don't think he's going to do. I don't think they're going to do that. Like, there's clearly that scene in the trailer where he's like memorialized on the wall, so you can, I don't think they would go that far.
Yeah, and I think that's what the scene where they're all in white. I think that's them going up to
Funeral
be
scene.
like a funeral scene right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then maybe something is said to his mom, and that's why when she comes out, she's like, "I've given you everything." She addresses the world.
Yeah.
And I think that's just, kind of how that's going to go. But as far as the story with Namor and everything that goes on with that, I'm not sure if somebody else is going to pop up, because is Namor historically a bad character?
I think so, yeah. I think he's kind of like a bad version of
Conquistador
Aquaman
type?
or something. Yeah.
Or not but a Aztec warrior.
Yeah.
I don't know. Regardless, that's all I want to see. I don't want to see any other. And I know they're going to show plenty of stuff during like the first weekend of football. What is that? Labor Day weekend. They're going to.
I think so.
They're going to show a lot of stuff for that. Maybe Ant-Man and the Wasp might get a little teaser.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I don't want to see anything more, because, I mean,
It
showed
away the
everything.
mystery.
Yeah, it shows everything you need to see.
Yeah.
With that.
It lifts the shroud.
When they basically announced the entire rest of the, I guess this is the multiverse saga now, like the Infinity Saga was the first 3 phases. Is that too much? I mean, that's an incredibly amount of content. I mean, like, even like, I think all of us are willing to watch a good majority of it, but some of the stuff like Echo, Agatha, a couple other ones, I'm just like, I don't care,
So, are you asking if it's too much content, or if it's too much to say, hey, we're making this, by the way?
A little bit of both. It's like, is it too much to say,
Fair.
hey, we got all this content, it's all going to be made, even though
Because
Well,
some of
I
it is
mean,
lukewarm.
let's be honest. If She-Hulk comes out and looks the way it does in this trailer, it's gonna be dog shit. Hulk looked trash. She-Hulk looked trash. I don't care about the story or the plot. If you're gonna cheapen out on these TV shows, I do not want them.
Mhm.
Because if you're gonna put out this content and connect the shows to the movies, they need to have the same, maybe a little bit less, but they need to have the same production quality. Period.
will not look like a Wish version. They need to look like, okay, this is a like you just said, a smaller production. Simple as that, because it's going to be episode by episode. We're not trying to spend $600 million over this whole episode or over this whole series. We're trying to spend, maybe 80 million or 120
Right,
million.
they're trying to get all this content and the smaller stuff, which I understand, but at the same time, you don't want to be putting out products that's going to dampen. Like, that's like saying every Friday you can come to a steakhouse and get our best steak, but during the week we're only going to give you the bad portions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The giblets.
Yeah.
I don't want to come Monday or Tuesday when I'm wanting to get something and get something bad and just have to wait until Friday. You need to have the good product all the time.
Well, and I think my other problem is like, not really a problem, but more of a nitpick is like, during the first three phases, the first three phases of the MCU, these were like events.
Yes.
It's almost like we had everything leading up to the Avengers, everything leading up to Age of Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame. We had big end cappers for these phases. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. That's going to be a huge movie. I think that's appropriate to end Phase 4. But all these other, if you look back at the incomplete Phase 4, with the exception of maybe Thor: Love and Thunder and No Way Home, I haven't not
It was
had
a
the interest to
wasted
rewatch them.
phase.
Yeah.
Wasted phase.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, Zach. Like, it's when Thor: Love and Thunder came out, I was anticipating that.
Mhm.
But it came up so quick that I was like, I've had
It's
all
already
these
here.
TV shows, I've
Yeah.
had everything else. It's like, yeah, the anticipation was still there. But at the end of the day, when I watched it, I was just like, man, that's a good movie. I liked it. But there wasn't that build up like when you were waiting to go see
The time between Infinity War and Endgame, you're just like, I cannot wait to see what happens next.
well, not even that, just leading up, like from Civil War on, you knew you were getting something big coming.
Yeah.
And it may be the fact that we just don't know what that big thing is, and that's why we're kind of like, oh, okay. But maybe when they talk about it and they show us what the next big thing is, which I presume is Kang,
Yeah.
due to Avengers.
Yeah.
I got to see a little bit more of where we're going with this stuff.
See, one thing with the Thor: Love and Thunder that I think they could have done better. I don't think because if you're going to go ahead and with all four Thors, you're probably going to go ahead and have Thor: Dark World bottom, probably going to have Thor: Ragnarok top, number 2 probably Thor original, and 3 it's probably going to be Love and Thunder. To me, Natalie Portman and Chris Hemsworth just aren't the greatest together, and it's not saying bad about either one of them. I just don't think that it was great. The first one was good just because it was new, fresh, and like, oh, okay, cool, let's see. And the second one was just like, okay, cool, but the love, are they, aren't they kind of thing is kind of like,
I just think
to where like, one second, what? Forgive me, because what was the one villain? Or not villain, but the one other Thor character, the alien dude.
the one that held the ether.
The
No
Dark
one.
Elves?
Do what?
The Dark Elves?
No, it's one that you were thinking might be in it. Jesus Christ, I forget the name of him. But I mean, if he had a different partner, I think it would have been better. But yeah, I mean, I just don't think Mighty Thor was a big payoff in that sense. But I mean, with DC, you've got The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, sorry, with Black Adam, And the whole thing about while the age old question, who's better, Superman or Black Adam? And he's like, well, Black Adam has magic, and Superman's two weaknesses are kryptonite and magic. He's like, I have one of them basically, so I don't know. He's like, Superman's still at the top.
Well, and that was the big thing with DC was they released the trailer to Shazam: Fury of the Gods and had like a little panel with Dwayne Johnson for Black Adam. So I think that was the only new that Sandman thing that's on Netflix. Is that I don't think that's part of the DCEU, but I don't even know what that is. Like people have been hyping that up for like the last couple months.
I think that would be Darth Vader / Anakin's downfall.
Oh, okay. Does that go back to the Obi-Wan conversation?
DC looks good where they're heading.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just having personnel problems, really.
Not even that. I just think they need somebody to give them direction, not just say, "Hey, here's a movie, make this movie." Like, you don't have to sit there and make an Avengers level film at the start. You can just sit there and be like, "Hey, make this film, but we might want to add this person into it so they can kind of lead into something else."
Well, no, I'm just saying, like with Ezra Miller and his BS,
Amber
with
Heard
like
and all that.
Henry Cavill, like aren't they kind of thing, and hopefully they are, but we don't know, kind of like those kind of personnel problems, like getting their people set, because you had like Robert Downey Jr., you had Chris Hemsworth, you had Chris Evans, you had Scarlett Johansson, you had all these characters that were set. You didn't hear of any of them getting into BS. So it's like, okay, what are they doing correct on the personnel, and what are y'all doing just flat out bad on personnel?
Yeah.
Because I mean, and with Jason Momoa apparently getting into a friggin' motorcycle wreck the other day or yesterday, head-on collision. Is
I didn't
what
hear
I
about
heard.
that. They did come out and say that Zack Snyder is no longer. There's no more Snyderverse at the San Diego Comic-Con. They did come out and say that.
Which I mean, I think we all assumed when the Snyder Cut came out that was going to be the end of that. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think overall MCU, the Marvel panel kind of took over and just kind of basically laid the groundwork till at least 2025. So
Marvel Comic-Con.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much. Everybody else is just there. So again, going into box office, Jordan Peele's third consecutive movie topping out at number 1 at the box office.
Yeah.
You surprised? You kind of expecting it?
Yeah, expected.
I was expecting it, and I mean, to be honest, they said this is the highest grossing film since the highest grossing original idea since his last film, Us, in 2019, which is ironic. But I mean, I think that just kind of shows people are excited. They want original content, whether it be Jordan Peele, Tarantino, whatever it is. They just want something different.
He brings ideas that are original as well as fresh. So I mean, don't get me wrong, like Alien movie, not fresh, like been around for a long, long time. But how he has done it, we'll get into it later, fresh. It's a different take, different mindset, all good.
And we have, and sorry to cut you off, Ed, we actually have a viewer, Maddie, sorry if I butcher your name, Arguinez. They ask, what do you think about The Flash, which is, I think, going to be on HBO Max now, and who you think is going to replace Ezra as The Flash?
Well, what we had talked about was they were going to just put out the movie that they had with Ezra Miller ready to go and just kind of take what it is, and that's why it's going to be on HBO Max free. Moving forward, if you're going to go with The Flash, you might as well go with the guy who's The Flash on the TV show.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Just go the route. He's been the character. He's played it well. People like the series.
Do the Flashpoint where it crosses over. He jumps from the television show into the films. It's an easy fix.
Simple. Creative minds.
And I mean, isn't he playing another version anyways?
On the TV show, there's like 5 different versions of the Flash. To be honest. So
So
But I mean, I like that idea though.
yeah. Nope came in at number 1. Thor coming in with 22.5 million at number 2. Minions coming in at 3rd with 18 million. Where the Crawdads Sing coming in at 10 million. Top Gun Maverick still coming in over 10 million.
Okay.
Surprised at that? I mean, we talked about it. If he's still bringing in 10 million going into August, it's going to continue to be in the theaters for the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. It's almost at 1.3 billion.
It's still making it made 4 million more than Elvis, which came out 3-4 weeks later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost a month
Positive
later.
Fury, The Legend of Hank, which I went and saw with my daughter this weekend, got 4 million. Black Phone with Ethan Hawke at 3.5. Jurassic World still making 3.1. And then Marcel the Shell with 875,000 at number 11. So, I mean, it's A24. I'm sure word of mouth is going to come around with that.
I've heard it's like one of the better kids films of the year. So I guess we'll find out here in a couple weeks. So,
all right, guys, let's get into some recent watches. Sorry, I'm definitely just got some technical difficulty here if you're tuning in on the stream, but everybody else is here. Zach, do you have anything that you wanted to check out recently?
Yeah,
that you would recommend?
Yeah, I'll just go through mine real quick. Obviously, Nope. The Old Man with Jeff Bridges wrapped up its season finale last week. Awesome show overall. I mean, Jeff Bridges knocked out of the pack. Clearly sets it up for a second season, which I'm excited for. So probably sometime next year. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Not going to give away my thoughts. We're going to talk about it on Sunday. So, and The Gray Man, the new Netflix movie with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Billy Bob Thornton. Really, I didn't really have any expectation for it, but really fun film, to be honest.
I got a bone to pick with that film now after I thought about it.
Go ahead, Craig.
I'll save it for if we ever do it.
Is it bad? Is it bad or what?
A lot of plot holes at the end.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah,
like they tried to cover up a lot of stuff, and it's just like, wait a second, wasn't this and
right?
Couldn't they, why would they do this if that was happening? Yeah.
I mean, by the end of the movie, I just want to see Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans fight. So
fun movie though. Fun movie.
Yeah.
I'd still give it a high rating, around a 7, maybe 8.
I give it a 7 as well.
Fun movie for me.
Ed, what about you? You check anything out?
Checked out Nope, of course. We'll get to thoughts on that later. Gone ahead and restarted watching, talking about anime. Started watching Inuyasha with my wife. So there's that. Just a few little shows here and there. Played a few video games and all that. Red Dead 2 as well as WWE 2K22. And then I did check out a different movie that I have never seen before. And don't hate me too much. Kicking It Old School.
You never seen that?
No.
Jamie Kennedy?
That's what my wife was like. You've never seen this? I thought every 14-year-old boy had seen this. I'm like, no.
Nope.
Malibu's Most Wanted, but dancing,
pretty much
break dancing and all that. I mean, that's really all I can say about it. Throw in a dash of Encino Man, and there you go. Yeah. Personally, I'm not going to be like, dude, it's gotta watch it. It's all right. It's okay.
It's a 2000s Jamie Kennedy film. That's all I gotta say.
It's fine.
Plain and simple. You know, it's okay. It's not even fine. It's okay. But yeah, that's all I've checked out lately.
Craig, what about you? You check anything out this week?
So like I said, I went and saw Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank. Good kids film. It's very closely related to another film, which I won't say it because it'll probably spoil the plot for people. But once you see it, if you've seen the other movie, you'll know. So Paws of Fury, I watched Interstellar last night. Matthew McConaughey, I absolutely love Interstellar. Christopher Nolan. Watched Nope with Johnny on Saturday. Came home and watched Us because I had never seen it.
What'd you think?
what I told Johnny, what I thought Jordan Peele kind of does in his film stands true. He takes what we all think and kind of exaggerates it and puts it on film. And that's really all he does. He takes conspiracy theories that are probably talked about amongst people, and he's like, you know what? That's really crazy. He's like, let's do this. It's crazy. Let's put it on film.
Going into Reddit pages and getting 16 different conspiracy theories and wrapping
Deep
it
diving in. Yeah, checked out The Gray Man, just like Zach did. Been watching Steins Gate, the anime. I was telling a friend of mine about that Collider that they turned on July 4th, and he told me Steins Gate was an anime kind of based on that. And then just kind of peeked on everything with the San Diego Comic-Con, all the trailers, all the talk about it, and then college football recruiting. So busy weekend for me, on Twitter a lot. So that's it.
It was kind of a slow week for me. If I had to recommend anything, I mean, I'll go through what I checked out. I checked out the Wit, very recent episode of 14th UHD. I got to finally watch Raging Bull on 4K from the Criterion Collection. Amazing movie, by the way. If you guys haven't checked it out, I recommend that movie.
It's a good transfer.
Really good transfer. Real good. Hope, of course. Devil in a Blue. I've never heard of this Denzel movie. At Criterion. Checked it out, and it was honestly really good. If you like suspenseful, whodunit killer kind of movie, I'd recommend it. You've seen Raging Bull, scene where Robert De Niro sits in the mirror and he rehearses a scene on the waterfront with Marlon Brando.
Mm-hmm.
And that made me want to go out and get on the waterfront with Marlon Brando. So I did that, and that was a movie, 1954, I believe. And appreciate this. There is a interview of Martin Scorsese, and where Martin Scorsese is interviewed about the movie, and he is just it's really great. Film fan, and if you're just a huge movie fan, I recommend checking that out. On the Waterfront is actually on HBO. And then I checked out Infinite Storm with Nuts. That's all I gotta say. Not very good movie. The pacing is super slow. Plot twist at the end. It was not so fun movie.
Not so fun.
So, but yeah, those launches. If anybody else has any that you guys can email us at men910@gmail.com. So this episode, guys, is also brought to you by CDR Electronics, located right here at 1604 West I-240 Service Road in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Check them out as they have all your electronic needs: AirPods, games, video game systems, computers, monitors, movies, anything you need, chargers, phones. They will hook you up, and also let know that the Cine-Men Movie Podcast sent you, and well, we'll send them that way. We're also going to talk about the truth of Nope. Ain't that right?
Yes.
The truth. I don't know if you can handle the truth. Craig, can you handle the truth?
So it is the truth of Nope.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Zach, you got some truth facts about Nope that we have not known about.
Absolutely. Hey, Dick, what's going on?
Hey.
Special guest time. Hopping in, sitting right here in between. Nick, welcome to the show. How are you doing
Did
today?
everyone new order there? I don't know. You want to fix it up one?
Ed does not care who he's on top of. I'll just let you
know.
Hey man, all I know is that's an awesome banner back there. Halloween, I like it.
It's actually a blanket. I was waiting for a spot. I mean, I was like, "Oh, sponsor." Oh, I got to hold up a bit.
I'm sorry. It's just funny. He's like, the blanket. That's not a poster.
Hey.
So it's a blanket.
But yeah, Nick, welcome to everybody who's tuning in. This is the 4K bad game that you guys can check out every Wednesday on Friday the 14th HD or Friday the 13th. Zach's some truth about no. Spill that truth on.
All right. So, number one, despite being featured prominently in the film, Fry's Electronics went out of business prior to the film's release in real life. One of the lead roles was offered to Jesse Plemons, but had to turn it down due to scheduling conflicts with his movie Killers of the Flower Moon, which he's currently filming here in Oklahoma, which was shooting at the same time. Gordy, the chimpanzee, is not the first mocap simian portrayed by Terry Notary. He previously portrayed Rocket in the rebooted Planet of the Apes trilogy. And Keke Palmer's introductory scene in which her character M delivers her energetic and fast-talking monologue about her family during a safety meeting on the film set took 14 takes to shoot, and Jordan Peele described each one of them as, quote, very wildly different. And that is the truth about Nope.
Truth about Nope. Interesting. Nick, have you we'll go back a step. Have you checked out anything recently that you'd recommend to any of us out here?
Recently, I recently picked up Good Burger, but I haven't seen that yet. Not in a long while. That's still bug copy.
Did you get it at Target?
I actually got it on Amazon.
There you go.
Yeah, but I was actually I finally getting around to watch Licorice Pizza. I don't know. Is that?
Yeah. What do you
I don't know
think?
what that is.
What do you think about it?
I haven't finished watching it. I was pretty late on last night, so I was like, I'll finish the next day. But I guess I'm enjoying it so far. It's always like one of those I have mixed signals in the first watch of every single movie.
Yeah. I'm technical difficulties, so if I been out, I'm sorry, but I let people know that Licorice Pizza is like anchovies on your pizza. It's an acquired taste. You're either gonna like it, or you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. I don't know if Licorice Pizza gets in between anywhere. It's definitely one of those movies that's just an acquired taste. I watched it, super hype about it, and it was, at the end of the day, I had to use Zach's line that it's fine because I wasn't in love with it, even though I like a lot of his other movies.
Paul Thomas Anderson, yeah.
Nice. And almost I'm getting to our next episode's movie. Haven't quite checked it out yet, but
which is Antichrist. The Antichrist does I think we'll be talking about that on the 7th at 8 p.m. I'm honestly excited. I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm super excited about it. With Zach, just because of us saying the word Antichrist.
Yeah, well, Good luck, Nick. That's all I'll say about it.
Did you ever check it out? Ever already check it out?
Did you already check it out, Nick?
Oh, I mean, no, not yet. I was holding off. Holding off as long as I could. I'll wait last hour.
Watching it through your fingers.
What
you better
about
get
you?
the popcorn. Be ready for it.
Zach watched it all the way through, didn't you?
I watched it all the way through, and it's hour and 40 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
It's not that bad.
That's what my mom said with Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, that's the same comparison.
All right,
They're very similar.
Before we do the rest of the show, I think I will do everybody a favor who's been waiting. And if you post on the social media, you know that I'm giving away a digital copy of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse. I can't wait anymore. I've waited almost an hour. So for those of you that tuned in just for this, just kidding. You're gonna have to wait till the end of the episode.
Damn it.
Nick,
No, we're gonna
just to get through.
we're gonna get through a few more, then I'll give the digital copy away.
So I thought being on the stream was gonna give me a higher chance of winning.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
Exactly what he's here for. But speaking of, guys, you can also check out OKC Soda. OKC Soda Company is special, unique flavors of the tastes of Oklahoma with strawberry shortcake, orange cream soda. It's the craft company of Oklahoma with unique flavors. If you want to try them out, come to Radio Cinema this Sunday, and we'll have a whole nother case of OKC Soda right there in person. You guys can try it out on the rocks. It'll be in the ice chest, so you guys can have some for free. OKC Soda Company. Again, it's a beverage of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast, and you can try this freaking Sunday. So why not? Come hang out with Ed and have a soda on him. Maybe
on him.
Hold on, I was gonna say maybe we'll get some body shots off of him.
Oh my god!
Like a little donation. Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all guys gotta really send me some of that soda. Let me try it.
Come get a body shot.
You'll get the Ed flavored. You'll get the saltiness flavor.
The salty frog.
The salty frog. But no, I'm not gonna have anybody wait. We're gonna get ready to get into the top 5. One of our most sacred and deared segments to all of our young little hearts. And then we'll get ready to give away the Doctor Strange Moment of Madness. All right. To the top 5. Here it is. You guys are gonna have to. Oh, a little premature, Craig. Okay.
Sorry, my finger slipped.
But before we get into our mentions, you guys will have to take a shot, take a picture. But here is your digital copy of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. If you can't catch it,
you're gonna have to send it to me, and I'll show it.
I'll send a picture to Craig, and he can put it on there. I should have just made a picture. That's what I'm going to do. Go ahead. Honorable mention. We are talking our top alien movies. So if anybody has any honorable mentions while I do this, go ahead and Zach, you have any honorable mentions?
Just one. District 9. That's my honorable mention.
I've got 2. I'm going to go ahead and hit out with Starship Troopers and Independence Day.
Nice. Nick or Craig?
I'll say Aliens and E.T.
Coming in.
Nick?
I mean, quite honestly, I had not seen a whole lot of alien movies, but I'll say E.T. Screw it. Honorable mention.
There you go.
All right, ready to go on to 5.
Number 5.
All right.
5.
Zachary Binks. Go ahead and young Zachary. Go ahead and start with number 5.
Number 5. Movie we're talking about today. Nope. So we'll talk about it here in a little bit.
Oh wow. Edward, do you have a number 5?
Number 5. Not everybody's going to know about this one, but Phoenix Forgotten from 2017.
I've actually
really
seen
like that film.
It's like
You
found
said what?
footage. I've seen that.
Yeah.
It's the found footage one, right?
Yeah. Just thought some of the imagery was really cool. Liked the story, all that, and kind of the research after that. So, yeah.
Nice. You have number
5 for me. I'll go with Super 8. J.J. Abrams film came out back in 2011. Just really good visuals in it, and a good cast of younger kids. Elle Fanning, Joe Courtney, Riley Griffiths, right, Ryan Lee, and then Kyle Chandler. Just a good film. Like I said, good visual effects for back in 2011.
Nice. My number 5 is going to be 82. It's going to be John Carpenter's The Thing, the remake from 1982. Kurt Russell. To me, these alien movies that I'm going to name off, at least for me, are going to be just because how creepy and how there's some realism to all of them. So that's where I kind of laid this list down for me. You guys explain, which it's fine. But that's how I'm basing my 5 movies off. It's all eerie and creepy. Some of them can be. So is The Thing from 1982. Nick, what about you? What's your 5?
Oh, man. I didn't have. I'm gonna be quite honest. I didn't have no list set up here. So whatever movie I can think of, I'm just gonna go with that. It's not particularly in order, but I'll go with Signs.
Ooh, Signs is a good one.
Turn in 20 years.
Yeah,
As
an
you said,
episode here in a few weeks. Number 4.
Moving on to number 4.
Zach, what about you? Number 4 for you?
Number 4, Ed, our friend Maddie agrees with you. Dude, Phoenix Forgotten is good. It gives me the chills like the McPherson movie.
Right.
My number 4 is going to be Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Miss Emily Blunt. Also starring Bill Paxton, Brendan Gleeson. A soldier fighting aliens gets to relive the same day over and over again, the day restarting every time he dies. A great movie, great science fiction film. Tom Cruise. I keep wanting to say Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt had really good chemistry in this. The visual effects were awesome, and it had like a really good twist that I didn't see coming by the time you get to the end of the movie. So I thought it worked on cylinders for me. So number 4 is Edge of Tomorrow.
All right, Ed.
Number 4 for me, going back to the late '90s, The Faculty. That was just a creepy one when I was younger. I think you showed it to me originally over there, Juan. So, yeah, man. Every now and then, like to go revisit this movie just for nostalgia, but as well as sometimes I'll catch something I didn't really see or catch the previous, encounters. So, yeah.
I can't watch that anymore with Lord of the Rings coming out. Number 4 for me is going to be the movie we're talking about today. Nope. So
Wow, Nope.
There
Getting
you
a
go.
lot of love on people's. 4 for me is going to be War of the Worlds 2005 with Tom Cruise. Just of how again the badassery of Tom Cruise, Dakota Fanning, Tim Robbins. I never really noticed creepy and how real this can be until we did an episode on a few years back. But I didn't really appreciate it until that view. So kind of just snuck up on me into this list, and I was like, I think if aliens did try to do something to this planet, I would want Tom Cruise to rescue me. So Tom Cruise.
that's any time.
Tom Cruise is on this list. So number 4 for me is War of the Worlds. Nick, do you want to try to put in a
Throwing it around the oh man. I'll go ahead and throw in Faculty also. I recently reviewed that movie, I think like a year ago. Could be wrong on that.
What was it?
The Faculty.
The Faculty.
Oh, yeah.
I think it
So
was
young
about a
Elijah
year ago
Wood.
you guys did that. Yeah.
Elijah Wood. Number 3 is what we're starting.
3.
Zach, number 3?
Number 3 is probably going to be one that people have really forgotten on, just because you really don't think of it as an alien movie. But you kind of, by the end of the film, you kind of get something that you weren't really expecting. Number 3 is 10 Cloverfield Lane with John Goodman and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Just in John Goodman, everyone thinks of him as like a big teddy bear. He is vicious in this movie. He's so, you don't know whether to believe him, whether he's lying, and you kind of feel bad for Mary Elizabeth Winstead. You want her to make the right choices, but at the same time, if he's telling the truth, she will die going outside. And then by the time you actually get to what's really going on, it's like, wow, like that's something you were not expecting at all. And so I think it fits really well in the Cloverfield universe. Honestly, it might work a little bit better than the actual original Cloverfield. But to me, I thought it was a really fun theater experience. So number 3 is 10 Cloverfield Lane.
I need to rewatch that. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
Number
3 for you, Ed?
Number 3 for me, I'm going to go ahead and hit one that I really, really like this director as an actor and as director, for that matter, and writer. A Quiet Place, man. John Krasinski, I think, hit it out of the park, just like Jordan Peele does. I mean, honestly, I'm excited for any work he has coming up anytime soon, for that matter. So, yeah, Quiet Place.
Nice. Craig, for you?
Number 3 for me is going to be technically when I looked up the list for Alien films, this showed up on there. So if it's not, I'll use another movie. But I'm going to go with Pacific Rim.
Oh yeah.
All the kaijus coming out of the portal and whatnot. Technically, they're aliens because they're not from Earth, so kind of works out. Big ass robots fighting big ass monsters.
What more do you need?
Gundam Wing versus Godzilla.
Yeah, it's a fun watch. The first one's better than the second one, obviously, in my opinion. But a great film nonetheless. So it's my number 3.
Nice. Number 3 for me is going to be a classic. He joins us sometimes on the show, but it stars Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator from 1987.
I'm here.
But no, I think I'm putting some realism in. If an alien did crash course with planet Earth, I think that's one of the maybe they would start is the Amazonian jungle, and I think meaning the alien a predator, and he goes out and just not only kills for fun but work to him, and I think that's just a whole badassery version of an alien. So and then of course it's just awesome seeing him and Schwarzenegger battle at the end. So number 3 for me is Predator 1987.
Yeah,
are you excited for Prey?
I am excited for Prey.
I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, it would
So
have been a little
Predators
awkward
too,
for him
though,
to land
so.
in like the middle of Utah instead of the jungle.
Yeah.
Middle of Utah.
I don't know.
Imagine that movie. Nick, number 3 for you.
Number 3, I'm gonna go Will Smith. Not Independence Day. Men in Black. So you gotta be more specific, man. Men in Black.
Men in Black 3.
Shit.
It's a classic. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Recently picked up that 4K Steelbook.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's a nice one.
2,
Number 2, Zach.
Number 2 is more of a high-minded alien film. It's going to be Arrival with Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and Forrest Whitaker. Directed by Denis Villeneuve, who directed Dune. Truly, I think the great thing about alien films is that there's always different interpretations of if extraterrestrials came to this planet, what was going to happen, whether it be destructive, the nice aliens, whatever. It does such a good job of mixing speech pathology and involving aliens and how like they might communicate with us on like a more high-minded level. And really, it really sets up Amy Adams' character in a way that there's a big payoff by the end of the film. It's, some people might like it, some people might hate it, just depending on what you think is going to happen. But to me, it works. And there's some beautiful cinematography in that movie and 2 great performances from Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner. So number 2 is Arrival.
You know what it is with and talking about aliens today, everybody's Wi-Fi is messing up. That's exactly what's going on here. That's exactly what's happening. They don't want us
See,
to
y'all
talk
are in
about it.
It's the Collider, bro. They turned on the Collider
They
July
don't.
4th.
Yeah, they don't want us to talk about it. Um,
Those UAPs.
yeah. Ed, what about you? What's number 2 for you?
Number 2. So these next 2 for me could be switched at any time. One's classic, one's newer. Well, kind of newer classic now. So this one, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I mean, honestly, if you haven't seen this and you're into alien movies or sci-fi movies at all, the story is a little bit slow at times.
No, it's not. Don't give me that stuff.
Like, but this movie has a lot of great stuff in it. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the iconic scenes are just, you got to see it. Simple, go see it. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Good Spielberg movie.
I don't want to watch it. I saw the end of it actually, and I was like, man, this looks trash.
Wow.
Number 2 for me.
Ed's talking about how it's slow. Ed, are you talking about the same Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
I mean, ain't there one?
I don't know. I don't think you've seen that movie, Ed.
Ed saw the Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind.
That's what you're talking about.
The bootleg version.
Oh, wait. What about the Fifth Kind?
It's not out yet.
2021.
Number 2 for me is going to be Signs. One of the first kind of alien movies that just absolutely freaked me out.
Yeah.
Behind.
When that alien walks by on the videotape at the birthday party, just was like, at that point, I knew aliens were real. 10 hats. I keep glasses of water all around my house now. It's a lifestyle. So
well, I mean, Craig, you live right outside a cornfield, so
I don't live. It's not a cornfield. It's definitely a forest. We got snakes and rabbits and.
I mean,
that's the scariest thing. You just have to realize that Zach now knows where you live.
that white van. Yeah.
The scariest thing in that entire movie is when the little girl comes up and is like, "There's a monster outside my room. Can I get a glass of water?" I'm like, "Bruh,
but you need water for a little girl."
She knows,
right? Like she's like, "Bruh, I need my weapon. Let's go."
I mean, it's just. Sorry, the movie
need to talk about Signs.
We are talking about it pretty soon. All right,
yeah,
move
along. Number 2 for me is going to be Under the Skin, A24 movie. Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Glazer directed it. The thing that is so creepy about this movie is, Craig, you mentioned it a few weeks ago when we were talking about Independence, is that if you think there are aliens out there, they are more likely to able to get under our skin and look just like us. And that's what this creepy alien does in this movie. She looks just like a normal human being. She feeds off of her prey, and she uses the process of her self-discovery in order to try to live amongst us. But it's one of those movies that just plays with your mind. It's just the eerie movie, and yeah, it's a little slow build up to it, but if you don't expect that from A24 by now, then but that's my my number 2, Under the Skin from 2013.
Was that an A24 movie when it came out, or was it acquired?
No,
it was always A24.
Yeah, it's always A24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's my number 2. Nick, you want to throw a number 2 in the basket?
So I don't even know if this counts as an alien movie, to be honest, but I'm just gonna throw it in there.
Space Jam.
Shit. How'd you know? No, I was gonna say Killer Clowns, but I don't even know if they're even classified as aliens.
They are aliens.
They're from
Out of space.
Yeah. Yep.
I
didn't go through my honorable because I was checking some issues here. But yeah, in my honorable mentions, I have Men in Black, Mars Attacks, Independence Day, X-Files, and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So yeah,
I should have done Space Jam, dude. I'm sitting here.
Yeah, that's a good number 2, Nick. Now it's time for everybody's number Juans.
Oh,
One.
Zach, number one.
I'm gonna find something to replace one with Juan.
Juan.
Juanito.
Number one, I think pretty much everyone's mentioned it at some point. We're talking about it here in a couple weeks. Signs. I mean, arguably one of my favorite films growing up, and it'll be a fun conversation because I think everyone's looking forward to talking about it. So,
Johnny, stop it.
Ed, what's your number two?
one? I mean, number one. I'm sorry.
I'm mixing with you, man. Signs. Same thing with Craig. You know, as soon as that birthday party happened, nah, I was like, this is BS. That thing's real, and it's gonna come and get me tonight. I'm like 11 years old, scared out of my mind. I'm like, yo, why? So yeah.
His dad was like, "Why are you going through all this tinfoil?" Every Friday night, having to get more tinfoil.
I see. We had to put it back onto the bowls, you know, Tupperware and all that. So yeah,
I got you. Number one for me. I've watched this movie many times. Never gets old for me, even though it's technically repeating the same day over and over. It's Edge of Tomorrow.
Nice.
I think Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt kill it. It's definitely a good concept, and I just really like the movie and the execution of it. So it's my number one.
Didn't you rewatch it a couple weeks ago, or was that Johnny?
That was me.
That was you.
It was
And
fun
that's your number one
rewatch
as
too.
well?
Really fun rewatch. My number one. Chill, Zach. Chill. I'm trying to force it out of me, huh?
Ooh.
My number one has already been mentioned, but it's Close Encounters with the Third Kind, just because, again, I put all these movies in that ranking of how real and how, would it line up to be. It's number one for me. I think it's one of the best encountering alien movies of all time. And I appreciate, even though it hasn't been mentioned yet, but I do appreciate how we kind of steered away from mentioning any of the alien movies 1 through 4, just because I think that's just I think that would almost be almost all of our number ones because of how precious that very first alien film is. But I tried to think outside the box a little bit, and I really wanted to put Alien from 1979 up there. But if I had to do a 1A, 1B, it would be Close Encounters of the Third Kind and then Alien. So
No, I just think that movie's terrible.
wow, let me cut him from the stream.
Chill.
Nick, you want to finish us off?
Alrighty. I'm gonna go with the Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. But what would your opinion be like if I said Paul? Also, bit.
Paul, hey.
Your number one, Paul. There it is.
Paul is classic. I think
What
that's
is-
an underrated,
Very
underappreciated film. Yeah.
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen kills it as Paul. That's a movie that honestly doesn't get enough limelight. And honestly, when I was looking up alien encountering films, if I would have even glanced at that, I would have included it because Paul is just such a fun ride. And everybody forgets about Jason Bateman in the movie. Jason Bateman to me is one of the best characters in the entire movie.
It's been so long since I've watched it. I think there was some controversial stuff the first time I watched it. I don't remember the movie, but I remember seeing something in the movie. I was like, it's kind of weird to me, but maybe I'm just not remembering it right. But I think that would be a good rewatch for this week.
Yeah, real good. So that was our top 5, guys. If you guys want to play along, this was a last-minute add-along, so we didn't mention it in last week's episode. So if you guys want to play along and send us in your top 5 alien-themed movies, again, you can send them in at cinemen921@gmail.com, or you can message us and hit us up on any of the social media accounts. But now I'm going to go ahead and put it up there for just about maybe 30 seconds. Other than that, we're going to move on with the show. So here is the digital copy. Well, that wasn't that's not very good anyway. But you can still see.
You can make it out.
Yeah, you can
The
make it out.
important part is there.
The important part is there. That's exactly right.
I'll. You want me to read it out loud?
Yeah, go ahead and read it out loud.
We got N R H C 2 7 3 X W D T. Go get it.
Bango.
I hope I read that right. I think it did.
Someone puts it in, it's like, that's not right.
or you know what?
Debbie Does Dallas.
The way how some of these
Well.
Bringing the old school back.
and how some fast some of these people are. What if I snagged it when I first put it up?
Ooh.
You know, those people
People
are
are gonna be
super
like-
fast.
People are going to be like, it says it's redeemed. And Johnny's going to tell us after the podcast. Yeah, I already redeemed it. But
Nick is just sitting there, be like, "Oh, you fools! It's already mine."
I opened it.
Claimed it.
I opened it during the live stream. So yeah, I opened it while we were getting ready to I got it on camera. I didn't have time to stick it in anywhere.
Okay.
I'm about to go get it real quick. Hey, it's already been like 2 minutes. They've had their chance.
So the good thing about this, guys, I think this is going to be an almost an every week thing. So why not just tune in and watch? But you can look, there you go. You can not only just tune in and watch, but you can tune in and earn you something, you know.
Yeah.
And what better way to do it than on Mondays with us? Speaking about sharing, don't forget Red and Blues Pizza. You can order now 602-2838. Check them out in person. Is 500 South May Avenue, right here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. They're open 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So get your pizza on. They have all kinds of pizzas. If pizza's not your thing, they have gyros, sandwiches. They just introduced last week. Guys, and from what I've heard, a side are soon coming. They also have cinnamon sticks. All right, guys. A mouthful of this sweet goodness. Cinnamon sticks. They also have all kinds of drinks and club sandwiches. Who does a little ice cold club sandwich during hot? So Bruce Pizza. But now it's time. It is time to get into what we've been waiting for. Zach, this was anticipated movie of the year. Let's all about Nope. The latest film from Jordan Peele. IMDb gives it a 7.6. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 82%. The Metascore is at 76%, while the Google users have it at 79%. With the release of this past Friday, July 22nd, 2022, the budget was $68 million. The box office right now sits around $45 million for the weekend. Starring Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer, Brandon Pereira, Michael Wincott, Stephen Yin, Keith David, written and directed by Jordan Peele. The residents of a lonely gulch in Island, California, bear witness to an uncanny and chilling discovery. So let's dig. Obviously, this was a watch for all. I don't know if anybody got to go see it twice this week. I did not. I definitely will be checking it out this weekend. A few short. We'll start off with what did you think as soon as you walked?
With me?
Yeah, Zach, what'd you think when you?
Yeah, like I said, like Johnny said, this is my most anticipated for the good chunk of the year. Without really getting into specifics yet, I really think this is a good movie. I think that there are some things that don't really add up a lot, but in the moment watching it, I really, really enjoyed this movie. And I think, like all of Jordan Peele's work, it's going to require a couple more viewings to kind of get the overall feeling of what he was trying to achieve.
Or even here, we might even answer your questions. Like, between us five, like, there's a lot of info that probably any of us chose.
I know
You know
all.
what I mean?
Maddie, Aaron, Maddie, I'm not going to say it. She said, thank you. I was able to redeem it. So,
Hey,
congratulations, Maddie, on your Doctor Strange. Enjoy it.
and they
5 was
And she also gave her top 5. So I'll read those off real quick. Number 5 is McPherson. Number 4, Signs. Number 3, Cloverfield. Number 2, War of the Worlds. And number 1, Edge of Tomorrow.
nice, good list.
and Matt could be, a universe as well. So
So my initial thoughts with the movie, just I'm going in with an open mind because with Get Out, and just kind of my perception of what Jordan Peele was, I knew it was going to be something that was a little more, something that we all might see as a conspiracy, but just a little bit further. His mind works in a lot of different ways than a lot of people. So I just kind of went in with a very open mind and enjoyed it for the most part.
What about you, Ed?
Nick, what about you? What did you think as soon as you walked out of the theater?
It was. I mean, I don't know if that gives away spoilers, but I did enjoy it more than Us. Dare I say that? I can say that.
You did enjoy it?
Oh yeah.
No, I did. Yeah, I enjoyed it more than Us. Even though it's like what Jordan Peele's third movie.
Yeah.
Full on movie. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Ed, a few short words.
No, it was Alien movie. Knew some of the actors in it. It's kind of all I needed. I knew it was Jordan Peele flick, so excited about that. And I mean, don't get me wrong, knew it was going to be something. Something was going to be different. Something was going to be weird. Something was going to be a twist. So, like, that's kind of now what he brings to any and every movie he films. I mean, any of it, it's he's on a hot streak. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see the movie he messes up compared to the ones he does right. Because
Well-
like so far, dude's on a roll.
Well, let's talk about it because there's a lot of people on my Facebook and Twitter have been dogging on this movie, saying it was trash.
I didn't get to give mine.
Oh. Well, I rebuttal to. Okay, go ahead.
Oh
ahead, John.
no! Did you get to give yours?
I gave mine.
Oh, I got short and sweet. This may not be his best movie, but I think it's his most enjoyable movie. Explain a little bit
That's
later on.
fair.
I'll explain.
Okay. Go ahead, Craig. What were you going to say?
I was just saying, I saw a lot of people really trash it. Just say it was terrible. They didn't like it. They didn't understand it. They couldn't keep up. And
Plus, see right there, those two things: keeping up and understanding.
but that's what Jordan Peele is. If you're going in thinking you're going to get a movie with aliens, he shows the aliens, and that's the movie. That's not going to be it. Everything that he's done with Get Out and Us has been cryptic, where he's telling something. Like I said, it's what we all think. We have conspiracies about UFOs, but now he's putting his twist on it. Like, what if it's not what we think it is?
Yeah.
See, and I mean, he's following the old school kind of horror or monster movie kind of thing. Like he's not showing, like he's showing glimpses of the monster or the beast or the alien or whatever here and there, and then the final is the payoff, as well as he's telling a nice
The money
story.
shot.
Yeah.
Or in this movie had a whole different term. So but I mean, there's things this dude does that just not many others are doing currently, and I mean, it's better than quite a few others story wise. And I'm not saying just this, but I'm saying his library so far is better.
But with more watches, I think more people are going to get the concept and grasp onto it. And I think initially it'll be 50-50, but I think the further we go, the longer it's out, more and more people are going to like it.
Dude, I thought that was pretty straightforward, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I agree with Ed about. Like I don't think there was any confusion about this movie whatsoever.
I mean,
The trailers for Get Out, confused. The trailers for Us, you're like, what the hell's going on? You're confused. The trailer from this beginning, you knew it was about aliens.
I mean,
I'm just saying what people are saying. Like people.
From start to finish, like this movie is very easy to keep up with. I had to leave the theater, fortunately, and you know what? I sat back down. I knew it was still going on. No hard
to be
time
fair,
following this movie.
To be fair, the same thing kind of happened to me, so my bad on that. Yeah.
You're bad.
Oh, when I called you, and yeah.
Oh yeah, damn you, Ed. From next time you didn't, I'm not answering. You can hold on just like else.
That's fine. Yeah.
But no, like I do think it was really easy to keep up with. The thing that I do appreciate in the first hour, you get the ape opening, which I think was extraordinary. That's the only thing that was maybe a little confusing.
Yeah,
was the
I
ape
agree.
opening, but until you finally get the meat and potatoes of the movie, Craig, like you explained it to me as soon as the movie was over. It was well thought of. By the way, if you guys have not seen this movie yet, we're at an hour and 20 minutes into the episode. Go back, check Nope out in theaters right now, in theaters. So go check it out and come back to this episode, or listen to us spoil the movie for you and go get your own opinion of it. I do think, as soon as the ape scene was over, you get Keith David, which I was super impressed with seeing him on the title of the cast and crew, but he didn't last long at all. What'd you guys think of Dad's death, Keith David's death?
Man, that was crazy. I mean, you go from the monkey scene to which, honestly, I kind of thought was a short for a second. Because I was like, is this something Monkey Paul just did like randomly and he added it? Or is this actually, and once it said a Jordan Peele film, I was like, oh, this is part of it.
Mm-hmm.
What's this? But as far as like introducing Keith, or Otis Sr. for that matter, thought that was really cool. You sort of start to grab that character a little bit, and then boom, bye bye. All hell breaks loose for like 3 seconds.
See, when I saw the ape, you guys want to say anything, but when I saw the ape, I thought that was going to be the twist. I was like, okay, is Jordan Peele introducing his own Planet of the Apes movie? Like, is he going to have a Planet of the Apes tie-in with this? That's kind of where my mind officially went. But then that wasn't the case.
No.
Yeah. It threw me off because I was like, okay, this movie's about aliens. So like, well, that's what I think it is from the trailers. So I was kind of like, is the monkey, did they take it over? Did they get under his skin and kind of infect his brain?
Right.
And that's why he's going crazy. That's kind of the initial. And I was like, but that's all generic alien movies. And I was just kind of like, okay, we'll keep that in play, but I don't think Jordan Peele is going to do something that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree. Like, I was just like, okay, is there something controlling his movements or thoughts or anything like that? Because literally, you see several things going on in the background, as far as like scenery of bodies just laying back there, and it's like one chimpanzee did this to everybody, and like, really nobody escaped.
Right.
That's a little weird to me, but okay.
And I thought it was that ultimately becomes a plot, a B plot in the movie ultimately, because I think it's a brilliant opening with the chimpanzee, which you're kind of, at first you're just like, wait, I thought we were, like you said, Greg, I thought we were talking about aliens. And then it cuts to Keith David and Daniel Kaluuya on the horse ranch. He, all of a sudden things start falling from the sky and the dad falls off the horse, and it's just,
you hear the screams in the sky. Like,
yeah,
that was the creepy part. Like, you're like, okay, did I hear that? Or
yeah,
was that just the wind or something?
It's awesome what the screens represent once you get later into the film.
Well, no, I even kind of thought, was that horses? Like,
yeah,
kind of like I was just kind of toying, like, okay,
Yeah.
is this horses? Is this like what's going on here? You know?
And then it goes into like once you kind of figure out what happened to the dad, and it's a quarter that got lodged into his head.
Nickel.
A nickel lodged from the fell from the sky and lodged into his brain. Basically, you're just like, oh damn. And then it cuts to what looks like initially what looked like an air vent, and it's just slowly panning in. It's the opening credits to the film. You're just like, oh, like I was all in. I was like, let's go. Like that's all you need to sell me on this.
I will say, I was glued to the screen the entire time.
Yeah,
there was no part in this movie where I was like, okay,
let's go.
Like it's kind of slow. I was just like,
and knowing
feed it to me, give me more.
And knowing how Jordan Peele works in his last films, I was just looking for clues, just like, oh,
Right.
so that's going to connect to here, or that's going to come back later, or they're going to use this device later on the film. 80% of the ones that I picked out ultimately do come back, but in really cool and clever ways.
Yeah.
So I mean, okay, did anybody get the eyes kind of thing, like within like 20 minutes?
What do you mean the eyes thing?
Okay, so there was eyes literally on everything. There was eyes in this backdrop of the scenes on almost every scene. There was eyes on almost every one of their clothing. Cameras, I mean, can represent eyes as well. Then you've got just black, dots in the background representing eyes. There was just eyes all over.
I think eyes ultimately that also comes into play towards the climax of the film, but I think it's Jordan Peele's like metaphor of the film of there's eyes everywhere and they're always watching something.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got the audience who's
eyes aren't watching the film.
We're consuming this content, so I mean, I think kind of that mixed with the show of Gordy's home kind of brings, like they've got all the eyes on that, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think? Yeah. What do you guys think of our leads, Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer as OJ?
I thought Keke Palmer
she stole the movie.
Fantastic in this film.
At first, so I'll say in the first scene with the safety meeting with everybody at the studio, I didn't like her much just because when she came up all late, excuse my tardiness, da da da. And I mean, don't wrong, she has wonderful dialogue and all that stuff. That was great. But when she kind of just walked away and gone over to either flirt, talk to, or hang out with whoever the catering woman or whoever that other woman was, I'm kind of just like, dang, you're just going to leave him here?
She explains it to him just a little bit later on in the movie. She says, this is my side job.
Yeah.
Well, no, and that, I is kind of like, okay, but leading on, it was just kind of like you get more in with, or at least personally, I got kind of better with her character as it led on.
Yeah.
But at that moment, I'm kind of just like, why do I need to go ahead and like her? Why do I need her to survive? Why do I want to care about her?
Yeah.
Because, Daniel Kaluuya's got me over here already hyped for the guy. I'm wanting him to survive this and him to be the hero.
But why were you for him to where his character at the beginning of his dad's death, he was the one who was like, I don't care about this shit. All I need is my horses. I don't care about anything else. He was the one at the beginning of the movie who was like, I kind of don't want life anymore. I barely even want to succeed at this. He's even flirting around with selling the ranch. She is technically all in, and she's all, even though she's in it for herself, yes, but she's, and even though she was late, she was the one who was really all hyped up and knew sell the business more than he did.
I think that.
But at the same time, I don't think she was dealing with the father's death like he was, as well as later on in the film, you find out all of what he's more than likely been dealing with in that 6 months worth of time. Because you got to figure all this stuff that happened to her, she's freaked the fuck. She's freaked out in all that little bit of time. But imagine 6 months of this.
Exactly.
I think but living where your dad was, being on the ranch where he was literally killed. That's got to play with a lot of emotion.
And it also goes back to the childhood because they were talking about how she was ready to train a horse and her dad wouldn't let her. And OJ, when he was younger, ultimately got to do that. And she never really got to have a chance to be in that life. I think her dad kind of shielded her away from it.
And that's
Gene
what I'm
Jack.
saying. Like, as the story gone on, I got back on her side because I'm just like, okay, this makes sense. I could understand that.
Yeah.
Did anybody catch that it was the hikers that all that stuff was from?
The hikers.
Okay, so in like the beginning of the story, basically, they're talking about a bunch of 40
the hikers that
or
go
something
missing.
like that.
Yeah.
Yes, that was all their stuff,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah,
I was
because
just
wasn't
like,
it like
okay.
wasn't like a during the Universal logo, you started hearing like a
the
news report or
broadcast
something.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nick, what did you think of the two mains, Daniel and Kiki?
I think they're pretty good pairing. I believe the chemistry of the main siblings. Remember watching Kiki Palmer and like Disney stuff a while back, so that I said, it's cool seeing that.
Being a horror, I ask you, like the first hour is just non-stop suspense. You get a few of like the UFO here and there. But this is all leading into something, and like this is just my thoughts. Like I do think that the most easiest to follow Hill movie. Like I don't think there's a lot of like hidden clues in there. You can kind of see where it's coming literally from maybe the first 30 minutes of the movie. Did you like this, Nick? Like in that first hour, so you get the scene where the kids are messing with him, and he goes in and checks in on Clover, and you get like the kids little alien outfit.
Yeah.
That scene was pretty. It's a pretty cool scene. Seeing because I don't know if it was like a split second where I felt like I looked down, but I was like I noticed like something pop up. One of the first kids popping up, and you're just looking at it, even though you find out it's a costume. But I was like, oh, it's pretty freaky. Just the movements, like that they nailed that down, and how he's the camera and everything.
I put my hands up because I was like, oh, shit's about to get real right here.
Well,
it wasn't, and I was just like,
I will say one of the biggest compliments this film has is the night sequences in this are stunningly beautiful. Like I don't know how they really achieved the cinematography in that, but like it was beautiful to look at. And I think on the other side, on the other flip of the coin, like you said, Craig, you were in that scene too. I was just like, oh, well, so we're gonna do aliens. Okay, that's cool. But the best thing about Jordan Peele, he keeps making you guess. He averts your expectations to think, okay, so we are talking about aliens, what you really think of as an alien, but when we actually get to the real situation, it's not like that at all. And I think that was the brilliant part of the movie. It really subverted my expectation of it is an alien, but it really isn't type of thing. So,
what did you guys think of the title card scenes? Like, after the opening credits of Nope, you get the title cards going into the scene of Ghost, the title card scene going into Clover, Gordy, Lucky, and then Jupiter.
Clover, I didn't get that much, to be fully honest, because Ghost, you see Ghost. Lucky, you've seen Lucky. Jupiter,
is Clover the one? Clover's the one that Daniel Kaluuya was hiding in the barn and it gets sucked up into the air, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one he goes to go check where he sees the little kids messing with him with the aliens. I want to explain my thoughts. Like, I think this is not his best movie. It's his most enjoyable movie, and I think it's the most well put together movie. In this movie, the first two movies, even though they were put out by Universal, they felt like independent horror movies. The first movie that George done that it feels like a massive sci-fi event. You get huge photography shots of the UFO, the alien. You get huge, like Zach said, cinematography shots at night. The scenes with the motorcycle and the wide shot scenes of Kiki on the horse. Like this is his most put together film as far as cinematography, and then just probably all like budget.
Yeah,
he used his budget to the max. This is the first movie that he's done, I think, that feels like a huge event. Like it's almost a sci-fi movie instead of fi horror movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no,
know, I
it's.
think. Go ahead, Greg.
I was just gonna say, I agree with you, Johnny. I don't know what the budget. What was the budget on this film?
Well,
68,
68.
68 million.
68 million, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I know there's not many parts that they use in this. I mean, they have the set for the TV show, they have the ranch, and then they have the Jupiter theme park. But I mean, it was just like the CGI was crisp. The usage of everything that they used in this movie was very, very crisp. Like you said, the shots were great. The cinematography from afar, all the close up shots, it was all just very well shot.
And I think, as knowing that Jordan Peele is pretty much an established director now, just listen to this. Starting with just Get Out and his first debut film, that budget of that film was 4.5 million, and then it raises it up to 20 million for us, and now it's 68 million. So I think Universal, whatever production company he's going to be working with, they trust him to make a quality film and say, okay, here's you some money, and we will let you, as the writer, producer, director, tell the story you want to tell.
Well, I mean, with this one, he used his own production company, Monkey Paw, for that matter.
Right.
You know, and I mean, it was just him and his partner that gone ahead and funded this movie. You know, so I mean, with a lot of the creative direction that he probably wanted to just be like, you know what, this is what I think, this is what goes on. Let's create ideas around this and go from there. Because I mean, you've got to like the shots of like the ranch, like you said, were awesome. The night shots. I mean, when the kids started just popping up and all that, that was creepy as hell. That reminded me exactly of Signs.
Yeah.
You know, kind of where the leg just draws into the corn stalks, for that matter. And, you know, when all of them started coming out and the one was just like, you know, peeking around the corner, it was just like, what the, you know, because I'm going like, you know, I'm talking to my wife, like, what the hell is this? Like, can you make out what this thing is? Because I don't know. And, you know,
Ed's one of those during movies talk to you during.
But, you know, I mean, I think my theater had only like maybe 15 people in it tops, but I kind of gone to a lower theater anyways. But you know, at the same time, like there was a ton of stuff that was just in this movie that had wonderful, wonderful shots, as well as just the effects used were not overwhelming, but just
I think
big effects.
I know later in the film we kind of get like the big visual effects with like the creature transforming and everything. But to me, the big money shot for me was the house. Once we kind of figure, the wide shot of the house when it's just expelling the inanimate objects, and the blood on the house that was so beautiful.
The blood, that was literally like the hardcore shot it got, because literally, you know, on the inside that's one thing, like, you know what I mean, just to show like blood going down and rain effect basically.
But you see from Daniel outside, you see from Daniel Kaluuya's perspective, and it's just like oh my god, that is horrifying.
Like, bro, if I was watching my sister go through that, like I would be like fucking so like scared, furious at the same time, like anxious, anxiety through the roof, man. I don't know. It would be
It was the little details that, like, when it was raining with the spacecraft or whatever it was, the alien, when it's coming toward Daniel Kaluuya in the car, like, you have the normal rain, and then all of a sudden the rain gets a little bit heavier and it's coming down the windshield, and then it stops because it's hovering over them. Like, it's small things that normal people or other directors might not do, that change in the water on the windshield. And Jordan Peele does it, and it's very slight, but you get the full effect of that thing coming over you, changing the falling of the rain. And I thought it was done very well.
Did anybody else kind of jump whenever the statue hit the windshield?
Yeah. I jumped.
Man, I was just like, oh shit. People behind me started laughing, but I was just like, dude, that wasn't expected, literally, because all of a sudden, just that out of nowhere, and that huge sound and the sound effects that he used were just placed widely and perfectly. I thought,
Well, when
yeah,
they're setting up that poor statue, and Jupiter pulls up, and they're like giving each other the thumbs up. She's like, "Do we give him the thumbs up?" He's like, "Yeah, give him the thumbs up." It was a mixture of like they're not trying to be funny, but it's the way that they're talking to each other in the moments where it's supposed to be serious that makes it funny.
Yeah.
It's like they're very like there's shit going down. We don't want to be anyone to know what's going on. It's very keeping it close to the chest.
Like Nick said, with the chemical, interaction with Kiki Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya, it was just awesome. And I mean, they literally without them being good together, for that matter, I don't think this works as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even with as good of a story as it was, I don't think without them having some sort of bond or a decent bond right there, I don't think it works that well. I mean, that's where he has great casting decisions, and even Steven Yeun with all that he did, for that matter. The kind of the guy who's making money off of his tragedies of life, going through all of these little, memorabilia and the park, and then what he does, whether for Otis Jr. or OJ, or in what he's showing Emerald, for that matter. And he's kind of like, yeah, you want to see it, usually I charge for this, but we'll go ahead, and since you're a big fan, and y'all, yeah, let's go. It was kind of just little things like that, pointing out all the objects and stuff like that. It's kind of like doing services to his past, but at the same time unknowingly moving the plot forward in his, like Zach said earlier, in his subplot B, basically moving it forward, because like Jupiter and OJ are kind of direct, like they have a path of tragedy in ways of each other, but one learned to where the other did not.
Well, so I sent you guys a link earlier, and Johnny said to save it. Did you read it? Did anybody read it?
I did read that, but I had already kind of
so Jupiter
heard something like that before.
Jupiter is entertaining the aliens by feeding the horses and making a show out of it because he's trying to tame what he thinks is a predator.
No, the Lucky was the first one.
No,
Lucky was the first one he tried. Yes, he was. Lucky, that was the inaugural. Because he told them that he had seen this as a kid.
Why is he buying all the horses from OJ?
Because
to keep feeding the aliens.
Yeah,
yes, but that was the first show. That was the first show he did.
The first show, yes, but he's been using the horses from OJ to feed the aliens to try and make friends with it, because he felt when the monkey died at the beginning during the show, the monkey was going to give him the fist bump. So he felt like he could tame a predator. And that's what he was trying to do with the alien. He felt like he had a connection.
Is that what that was about?
Yeah, I think that's what
that was the thing. That was the part of the film I'm just like, I don't,
because
I think Steven Yeun, I think he's good in this, but I just don't think his character pays off, because the way it's set up, the way Jordan Peele kind of presents the idea of when this thing is around, it affects people and animals' behaviors. Right. So at the beginning of the movie, when the chimpanzee attacks on the cast during the filming of the TV show, I'm like, okay, was this thing over the studio when it attacked? Is that what provoked it?
And that's why the shoe's standing up.
Yeah, but
that's the.
Go ahead, Johnny.
I'm not sure. That's chimpanzee movie. The leaves and was.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
Yeah. I'll just say that because and what gave it away for me, and like you said, Craig, he's getting the horses from OJ to feed to the alien, to this creature. When he's doing his presentation for the lasso experience, he turns around, and on the back of his jacket is an alien ship. And so that was like the key to me. That's like, oh, so how did he, that just in the moment, I was like, so how did he already know about this before Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer?
Yeah.
So, okay, basically the alien had only been there since the hikers were its first victims basically in this movie. It had only been there for about 6 months or so. But the thing is that's the first time that Jupiter had met him as well. He thought them as well, because he thought that was a craft. He didn't know what actually was going on. He thought it was going and taking the horses and sucking them up, and it's okay, to where he didn't know he's just feeding the beast, literally.
So you're saying that the first time we witness alien activity is
where Otis Sr.
where the dad dies. So you don't think aliens were in the beginning when the whole chimpanzee incident happened at all?
No, not with that.
So then
what's if
the chimpanzee went off because of all the balloons and all that? Otis Sr. tells it some animals are not meant to be trained.
So why is the shoe standing straight up?
So what that has to be the reason. Freak accident. Because,
I don't want to know what you. I don't want to know what you really read. I want to know what you kind of feel, because the shoe is standing straight up.
Why I go ahead and read and believe that is because one thing. Why would the balloons pop with that over them, but the little wave guys not?
Because the wave guys are hollow. They have wind blowing through them.
Well, don't get me wrong. Why would the tops not pop or the fingers not pop? Same.
Oh, wait. Is during the filming of the TV show, didn't they lose electricity? And that's the whole thing that we know, that the creatures there is electricity goes out.
Right, but no, they didn't lose electricity at all.
Yes, in the movie when the monkey goes berserk, yes, they do.
Because that's to me was like, no. At the beginning sequence when the ape goes crazy and it's just sitting there in the pile in the blood, and it cuts to, the next scene with Keith David, right before it the screen goes black, and then we open up.
That was them just cutting that part of the story, because they told this other part of the story later on.
No, I think that creature was there. The creature was there, and that's what
crazy.
The monkey had enough of the whole thing. You can see it in dogs, cats, kids. You can see it in all kinds of stuff like that.
Stephen Yeun's character said it used it throughout, so that's not the same monkey they've been filming the kids' TV show with.
Yes, I heard that as well. But with different monkeys and all that, same as different kids, sometimes that one is good to a point, and then all of a sudden
why are you arguing the point that the shoe is standing straight up? That's one of the main reasons that the ape went.
Yeah, they're not going to zoom into a shoe standing up and just be like, oh, the shoe just happened to be standing up.
Because
that's the whole point of Steven's character wanting to horses to get the aliens to come back to him, because he ended up finding out the reason the ape went in was because of the aliens.
Yeah.
So he wanted to tame other animals to get to come to him. He knew, not there when the ape went crazy, he knew at that point, maybe years, that reason the chin went crazy.
Yeah,
and it supports the
idea.
idea.
To justify. Say I don't believe that part of
but
it. But
it supports the idea that after the chimpanzee goes berserk and kills two of the actors, really horrifically injures the girl. When he sees young Stephen Yeun, it's being friendly again. So to me, I think Johnny's right. No, I think it's because the alien left or did what it wanted to do, and it just went back to its regular behavior, and it was trying to become it becomes tries to be friends with
All right,
Ricky before it's killed.
well,
I'm going to argue.
This whole movie
I do not
way
agree.
aliens above else.
This
No,
movie.
Jordan
Okay,
Peele
no,
is Jordan Peele's watching this right now. Be like, you fools.
no. Okay, so with this movie, it's a predator movie.
Horses and animals, okay?
It's not literally that aliens are controlling other. It's not like that.
No, it's not
The
controlling
alien
their
is
behavior.
another. But see, don't get me wrong. That's exactly what they were saying.
It's
No,
affecting
it's
their
not.
behavior.
It's affecting. That's why all the horses acted so weird when he had them. That's
No.
why the horse would
OJ
look at him and just run.
Have
Why?
you ever been around horses?
They
Have you
get
ever
weird when
been
they
around
sense
horses?
something.
Have you ever been around horses? They're trying to run the fuck away. They're not running to the predator. They're running the fuck away because they understand. And exactly like you
Okay,
just said.
so
they're
what you're
sensing
saying is they
predators.
run
They're like,
away.
nah, we're good.
They run away when they sense it. So if there's not an alien, then what are they sensing, Ed?
But don't get me wrong. Okay, literally, they know what's going on. They don't know exactly where it's at. They just want to get away. They know, okay, if I run here, more than likely I can get away. That's all they think. The chimpanzee freaked the fuck out because of overexertion, because of overwhelmingness, and it freaked the fuck out. The balloons popping did not help.
It was
And then
one balloon
basically,
pop.
like, if you,
There's one balloon pop.
thought there was 2 or 3, either way. But literally, with the kid, the shoe is him focusing on the shoe. Jupiter focused on the shoe, and that's why the monkey or the chimpanzee did not kill or did not attack him. Not because he is underneath, not because he couldn't see through the sheet, because he was focused on the shoe. When he was focusing on the shoe, he wasn't looking directly eye to eye with the alien, okay, with this chimp. So the chimp was like, okay, yeah, hey, buddy, hey, it's cool, buddy. He didn't
Then why-
fist bump.
Then why did the
signature.
chimp chase the old man who was running away from him?
Because of eye contact, as well as just you're in my territory. That's the whole thing Otis Sr. is going on about. The flashbacks with Otis Sr. through Otis Jr. Territory. Sometimes you can't control an animal. Sometimes animals don't want to be tamed. That's the whole precedence of that.
I get that, but we're making the statement that the aliens are affecting its behavior. I'm
The
sure
chimp,
there was
I
plenty of
don't think so.
incidences on set with the chimp. And why did the chimp just now decide to go crazy?
Because don't get me wrong, when they don't, okay, they're being told and taught over and over and over and over and over again to do this same thing. It's probably like, okay, I don't like all this. Y'all, like, I don't like all this. And so many people don't even know how to tell dogs anxiety levels, for that matter, let alone other animals that are exotic, like a chimpanzee, like snakes and different stuff like that. People think, oh, a snake's not eating. It must, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll cuddle up with it. No, it's sizing you up. It thinks you're smaller than it. It wants to eat you.
And,
things like that happen because people are ignorant to animal ways.
And we're not saying you're wrong. We're interpreting the movie as we see it. We just think that we're just saying that
Red.
In the grand scheme of things, we think that the alien, whatever this creature is,
Pushed
affected
the
the chimp
over.
It affected the chimp's behavior.
But
to
what
the
I'm
point where
saying
he attacked.
is the training.
Nick's the ref.
You know.
What do you think?
What do you think?
The alien had any to do with the chimpanzee?
Well, yeah, you can see both sides, but the shoe standing up, it was clear the broom trick that happened not that long ago, or the gravity. No, it sounds
well, and my thing is this: is like if Stephen Ewan knew about this, obviously the only time frame we're given is 6 months after the dad's death. He somehow it's not explained. Stephen Ewan finds out about this creature. Why does he not know to not look at it? Because Daniel Kaluuya figured it out. It's just like, if you don't look at it, it's not going to eat you.
Because, like I said, one learned, one did not. He thought, I had a connection with that chimp. I'm going to have a connection with this alien. To where Daniel Kaluuya is like, oh, shit. Okay, with the ball. He's like, no, not in front of his eyes. And that's what made the horse buck up and then kick.
Yeah,
that's what made it, because you spooked the horse. Animal learning behaviors. With a horse, you have to train this side, and then you have to train this side. A horse does not see directly in front. A horse sees here.
But a horse is different than a monkey.
Yes, but the thing is with a monkey, you have to do repetitive. A monkey can learn up to a 5 or 7 year old. I think some of them have chimps. But the thing is they understand more, but they can still get very overwhelmed. That horse got overwhelmed by sight. The monkey got overwhelmed by all of the stuff they were doing. And then that one simple chimp was just like, fuck this. I want to be out of here. None of y'all are letting me out of here. I'm go. And he went ape shit.
So
The
you think
horse
this
did the
movie is
same
just
thing.
about apex predators and how,
Yeah,
why we shouldn't be keeping them caged?
not necessarily. No.
You think this is a movie about Harambe?
I mean, maybe it has a few small little things, but no, not necessarily about that. But okay, the predator thing, yes. It's the eyes thing again. Don't looking in the eyes. That's why I'm bringing up the eyes. Because literally there's a ton of stuff where you're looking directly in it. All the cameras, you look directly down the well for the camera.
If this movie is about an apex predator, what apex predator is being the UFO creature, and it is making everybody around uncomfortable, then that's exactly what happened in the movie. The predator is the UFO alien, and the monkey human beings on the ground, the fucking grasshoppers, those is all not in sync because of the creature above. Get Out had issues. Get Out had issues on the planet Earth. Us had issues underneath. And Nope has issue Apex Predator. I the exact much of this movie that he did is exactly what he got to do, is a movie where every conversation and argue or disagree with what this movie is end up knowingly being about.
Well, I think you're right, because I think the goal of a Jordan Peele movie, and I think he's even come out he's said this himself, was I'm just telling the story that I want to tell. I want you as a viewer, as the moviegoer, to have your own opinion. I know what it's about, but I want to know what you think. He's done that with Get Out, he's done that with Us, and now he's done it with Nope. And
his story, it's take what an unidentified creature actually is. I don't think there's anything past the first movie that he's ever put out that you don't have to sneak to the internet and read what's there. Look what me behind the glass. It's very you can do that. You can do that with out, but I don't think you can do that with because it's all very simple. 2 hour and 10 movie right there in front of you.
The movie ultimately, the IMDb plot of this is the residents of a lonely gulch inland California bear witness to an uncanny and chilly discovery.
Correct,
I don't think that's not really the plot of the movie. The plot of the movie is these three people trying to capture an image of a UFO. That's ultimately what the movie's about.
IMDb is the
That's
synopsis.
the same thing.
That's give you the synopsis free.
They couldn't give like a whole spoiler about it. But
Correct.
I mean, like
exactly
when you get down to the nitty gritty about it, I mean, it's just they're just trying to take a picture of something. That's ultimately what it's about.
They're trying to get the money shot of the first aliens because everything else is
staged.
Yeah,
so what do you
staged.
think the MacGuffin?
The MacGuffin of the movie, honestly, what do you think it is?
Camera.
The camera, yeah. Because
or not even, but a camera, because throughout the whole movie, they have security cameras at the beginning of the movie, but they're not as good as they're as good as OJ wants them to be. So they go to Best whatever tech place that they go get their own camera. Doesn't end up working at the end of the day, so they bring a photographer with the old school wine camera, and then at the end of the day, she wins. It's her shot, the still picture from the child museum little thing.
The
so I think at the end, the wishing well. At the end of the day, it's about trying to get the perfect shot.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
What she does with the photo, get rich by trying it. That's ultimately what it comes down to today.
But I think it also comes down to they're so in it to get the money shot, or the Oprah shot, as they keep referring to it. Um, but I think this is it. I think honestly, I think the MacGuffin of the film is the relationship between M and OJ. You know, they kind of glance over it several different times throughout the film, but by the end of the film, when you think that Daniel Kaluuya sacrificed himself to save Kiki Palmer's character, and then you see him. That's the last shot of the film, is him on the horse. Is like
But
she really cares about him, even though they've had differing opinions throughout the whole film.
so I got a question about that. Do you really think he survived, or do you think he really died?
I thought
And
the
that was
movie.
just kind of her hallucinating, like,
I thought the movie was going to end with her looking out in the distance, and we don't really know what she sees. I was like, oh, that's how he's going to end the film. Whether we don't know if he lived or died.
Because I mean,
He looked at it. He looked straight up at it when he's trying to bring it towards him.
yeah, and that's the thing right there. But at the same time, it kept switching. Okay, I'm here. I'm here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you? Why are you? But with her getting two and getting that picture after she sent up the juke balloon or whatever. But it's kind of like, okay, what happened? Did it attack him, kill him, and then take off to whatever? And she is like so tired or whatever, because she, it looked like she collapses, and it's just like, over there, did she hallucinate him? Throughout the dust and all that, or
the MacGuffin has a device or object in the movie. So I agree with you, but I don't. What would you think, Craig? What would be the device that would be the MacGuffin for you?
Um,
The actual UFO?
A MacGuffin. I don't know. You guys know the MacGuffin word. I don't really know it. Could it be like?
It has to be an object or a giving in the movie.
The want to find the unnatural.
Yeah.
The want to be the one to find the unnatural, because that TMZ reporter shows up. They're like, no, get out of here. Like the want to be the one.
That's
to break the news.
Other than or take, but it's got to be. What do you think? Was there anything that somebody maybe did not like about the movie? You want to kick that? Was there something about the movie maybe like?
The ending took way too long.
To me, I think probably my only nitpick about the movie is I think the climax just kind of, not in a pacing way where it slows down or anything, but it just kept going. Like, I feel like there were at certain moments where I was like, okay, you could have ended right here. Oh, you could have ended right here. Oh, we're going to keep going. Okay. So, I mean, other than that, I thought the score was, like the same from Get Out and Us. I thought was really one of the standout parts of the film. I mean, other than the climax, just I don't think that's my only nitpick about it. What about Ed? Nick, do you have any?
The only thing I would nitpick, and this is a very small nitpick, because this is the only thing I looked for and actually kind of found, for that matter. Daniel Kaluuya's character, OJ, kind of just like when the father died, he's just kind of standing there like, why do I have to deal with this? And he mopes around and all that, or even on the horse at the final scene, just standing there or sitting there on the horse, not doing anything, like not going over to check on her. And that's part of the reason why I kind of bite a little bit into he died, but I don't think he died personally, but I'm just like, I can see why people would think that kind of thing, because he's just like a statue. He's just there, he doesn't move.
I kind of think it's a representation of he's kind of taken responsibility of that lifestyle. He's on the horse. He's kind of like, this is what my father did. I'm gonna embrace it now, type thing. I don't know.
But I mean, that would be the only nitpick I could actually have on this movie personally. Like that, like I said, that was finding something.
Yeah. I think the other thing is the Stephen Ewan character. I think that it just on my perspective of the film, I think that could be cleared up in multiple viewings later on.
I mean, honestly, like I like him as an actor, and I have
Yeah.
since back in the Glenn days of
Walking Dead, yeah.
Walking Dead. And actually, that's part of the reason I stopped watching The Walking Dead is when he got killed. Personally, that was just like a cap for me.
He died?
No, he's still in it.
But I've liked his acting and all that. So I mean,
he's one of the zombies now.
Yeah.
But as far as that goes, like he didn't kill it at all. He was, I liked his character, or
Dude,
like
did you
how he
have
portrayed it.
Nick? Did you have any nitpicks with the movie?
Well, I would say at first, when it was revealed that the UFO is actually alien, I kind of was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like a little old fashioned with the big black eyed aliens, because it's like the idea that there's these creepy looking bastards. But I mean, I guess it was alright with me towards the end. Like, screw it. I mean, it just looks like a big ass jellyfish, space jellyfish.
It kind of when it kind of dawned on me, is like, oh, so this is basically a giant stomach that like sucks people up in the air and eats people. I was just like, which the creature design of it, when like they kind of show the inside, it looks like intestines kind of just gobbling up the food that leads to the mouth. I thought was a really cool design.
I kind of thought that
What did you guys, whenever it wound up like an actual kite at the end when it itself up? What did you guys think of that initial design at the end? Because we haven't talked about that yet.
I kind of thought to me it kind of represented what a cobra does when it like shows its like strike mode, almost in a way. It's just kind of like when a predator, like what OJ says, it's a predator. When the predator's gearing up to attack, like I think that was its mode.
It's like when the X-wing opens up its wings. So it's
I don't know. It's the same thing, but yeah.
I know I'm going back like a minute, but did anybody else get when its mouth, that box? Did anybody else get kind of like the original picture? Did anybody else like see that?
Yeah,
because I was just like, dude, that looks
the black guy on the horse. You thought it was going to show that. I thought it was going to be that for multiple. Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, I was
this
like
is too on the nose.
Yeah. I thought it was, it's cool because the alien can't come to Earth looking like it did in the final, because everybody would obviously see it. Whereas the UFO is a little bit sleeker. But I thought it was cool, throughout the movie, you see the big opening at the bottom and you think it's just a part of the ship. But then throughout the movie, you kind of see it starting to get those ripples in it.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, it just completely opens up. I think his thought process of the UFOs aren't housing aliens, the UFOs are aliens.
Yeah.
And they're much bigger and much more destructive than what we initially think.
Well, and to me, it's a callback to the original, the beginning of the film, where it's the opening credits, and it's kind of like that air vent leading in, and like you say, Craig, it ultimately shows like the old black and white picture of, they say, is their grandfather on the horse. Yeah. Ultimately, it's a mouth. It's ultimately a mouth that is what feeds the alien. So,
because I thought he just basically took some of the like regular saucer, looking pictures and just played with it and was like, what can we make out of this thing?
Yeah.
And that was cool.
That just ballooned out.
And I think that's a creative genius of Jordan Peele of, let's just take something that people know by knowledge and let's just flip it on its head. Yeah.
So it gives you everything you think the movie's about in the trailers, but you still have a twist that you don't see coming.
Yep.
I will say I really tried to stay away from, other than the first trailer, I stayed away from all the trailers, the TV spots, anything, little featurettes. After the movie, I went back and watched like the final trailer that was released like a month ago. They gave that 3-minute trailer showed a lot. Like I was I was kind of shocked at it, to be honest.
Did anybody else catch the Stephen Curry trailer?
I saw that.
I was about to say that he's in there in a trailer for Nope, and he like misses a shot
It's
in
because
like
of the alien.
barn gym, and it rolls out and all that, and rolls off like a ledge or something. And he looks out and he just sees it, and you can see how the sky like darkens, and he's like, "Nope." Walks back in, and it's like, "Oh my god."
The way that they used the title in the movie was pretty good. So we talked about scenes that we didn't really like. Anybody have any favorite scenes?
I would.
Go ahead.
I would just say probably my favorite scene is really the one that kind of stuck out to me, even after walking out of the theater, was the wide shot of the alien expelling the inanimate objects and the blood and like the rain. It's just a combination of like the nasty grittiness of what this thing is, and we didn't even talk about Angel, the Geek Squad person. Basically, I thought he was a good addition. I thought he kind of fit in well with Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya.
He would pick. He's a character on actor who I heard all in the movie.
He definitely was a nice addition to them. He brought in something that like wasn't fully connected with them, but it was supposed to be like, you're kind of an outsider. We're welcoming you, but you're kind of still an outsider, dude. Like at first, he kind of
forced himself onto them, and after a while, they're like, "All right, since you know all about the tech, let's bring you in on it."
But I mean, even I know this, was in the plot and all that, but even the genius of him, getting himself in that tarp and then wrapping barbed wire around him, and being, when he got pulled up, that was genius.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't know exactly what's in here, but I know it doesn't like stuff like that. So,
and I will say another one, kind of just quickly, it pissed me off when I figured out what it was. But the praying mantis on the camera, I was just like, is that the alien right there? I kept thinking, oh, that's one of the aliens. It's kind of looking in on the camera as a joke. That's
like blocking.
It's a freaking praying mantis.
Nick, what about you? Did you have a favorite scene or two that you want to mention?
I do. I did really enjoy that the nighttime scene where when that happens, the alien drops the little blood bath going down with the music, the van going on, sunglasses at night. Just that whole scene going down.
That was a crazy. It was not.
Craig, what about you? Did you have any favorite scenes?
I liked when the guy who was on the electric bike going into the electromagnetic field coming this way, and he flies off of it, and he's like on the ground, like all strung out, broken bones and everything. He's like, get a picture of it. And he's basically just wanting to get anything and everything for clout to try and capture the moment. So I thought that was pretty funny.
TMZ.
If I had to name just a quick scene as a favorite scene, it would be the wide shot of Daniel Kaluuya riding on the horse with the UFO right behind him. That scene right there just felt like it was just something from, a huge $350 million budget of a film. That shot was amazing, and that to me is what made this film different and stand out from all the others that Jordan Peele has done.
I wonder if that one was shot in IMAX, because they said that there were certain sequences that were shot in IMAX.
Yeah, there was some scenes that were shot in IMAX. Ed, we'll go ahead and start with you. Star rating.
Honestly, 10. I definitely like this movie. Jordan Peele strikes again for me.
Nick, star rating for you?
Put me on the spot there. It was kind of hard to, because I haven't rated the other two movies, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But for now, I'm gonna go with an 8.
Craig, star rating.
I agree with Nick. I'm gonna give it an 8. I think when you break it down, the movie itself was really good. I think, like you said, that shot behind Daniel Kaluuya was everything you want in a film to make it feel epic. I just don't know how well the rewatching of it is going to be. because to me, I felt like the ending was very long. The execution of actually getting the shot was quite the experience and trip. So let me give it an 8 for that.
I'm gonna squeeze right in there with you. I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. Well, I think it's like I said, it's his best overall shot film, and his best maybe just it's easy. You're in and you're out. Simple story. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to fill out to remember and to remember this sci-fi alien film. I think his first two movies were so good that I kind of got a little let down at this movie, because I was so used to Jordan Peele throwing all kinds of secret hidden temples and secret hidden messages in the movie. You don't get that one really in this movie. But 8 is a good rating. I'm going to give this movie an 8. I don't know, like you said, Craig, how the rewatchability is going to go with it. I'll watch it again before next episode, so that should be fun. So I can't wait for that. But right now, it's gonna sit on an 8. Zach, what about you?
I wanted to squeeze this in. We kind of had that big discussion. We had that big discussion earlier. But if the movie is based off of trying to tame apex predators and kind of Jordan Peele's take on that, I'm like, we shouldn't be caging wild animals and we shouldn't be trying to be friends with these beasts, which I just saw a video the other day of a bear demolishing a dude in a zoo, in a circus. Like, it makes sense. Like, it's his, he's mixing real life issues with fantasy, kind of a concept with the UFOs. So I think that might help it in the long run.
Finish us off, Zach.
I think this is a really good movie. I don't think I'm gonna agree with you, Johnny. I don't think this is his best movie. I think this is probably his most. It's a fun film for him, I think. I still think Us is still number 1 for me. Get Out is number 2, and this is 3. Just for right now, just based on a first time watch, honestly, this is in 3rd place. I'm gonna give it an 8. I think, to be honest with you guys, I think the first hour and 30 minutes of this movie, I was thinking this is better than both of the other films, to be honest. But then, when I started thinking about some of the plot and just some other things, and like I agree with you, Craig, the ending kind of went on a little bit too long. It dropped it down to an 8, and I don't know if I wasn't still thinking about this like when I got out of Us, thinking about like the interpretation of what he was trying to represent with that film. So to me, it's an 8. I still think it, in the grand scheme of things, it's probably one of the better films of the year. So, I think.
Now, let me ask this right quick, just because Zach, just a few weeks ago, you had this at number 1 most anticipated.
Yeah.
Was it a disappointing movie technically?
No, it wasn't disappointing. I didn't walk out of this and being like, oh, man, I'm disappointed. That sucked. No, I didn't feel that at all.
The old couple next to us was like, that movie effing sucked. I was just like, that's because you don't know Jordan Peele, lady. All right.
No, I will say the person I took this to go see, and they hated it. Honestly, they really didn't like it at all. So,
Ew.
So what were you gonna fit in there?
I was gonna say the Get Out and Nope are very they give you the plot. They tell you exactly what the movie's about. It may be a little kind of iffy during the film, but in Nope, you know that they were created to basically control the people above by creating copies down below, but they couldn't copy the soul. That's why they were very similar but different. Yeah. And in Get Out, it's the same thing. You kind of have the white family taking over and creating the brainwashing of it. Whereas this one, we had to spend an entire episode kind of talking amongst each other to be like, okay, this is kind of what he was wanting to get at with the apex predators and stuff like that. So I think that might be a little bit different on why some people might not like it, because it's not as direct. Even though the movie is direct, I think some people may not interpret it as being direct.
Craig, did you not like Us?
Oh, I loved Us.
Oh,
I thought the ending was fucking amazing.
The way you talked about it was just like, it was all right.
Just because I knew you guys had seen it, and I was just like, oh yeah, I saw Us, because you guys are just like, we've already seen it. I was late to the party.
Ed, is this your favorite Jordan Peele movie out of the 3?
In what I like, yes, I think I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain that because I like a lot of the alien stuff, and that's probably why I enjoyed this movie a bit more, as well as like why I kind of gave it a higher rating as well. I mean, honestly, that probably did impact it. My personal, infatuations with that. Um, but as far as like, do I think this is his ultimate movie? Not necessarily. I do think Juan's got it kind of right. I think this is one of you know is a good movie. It's an enjoyable movie, but it may not be his best movie. But personally, I really really liked it. So
To answer your question, Johnny, it's in the top 5 of the year so far. So if that answers anything.
The mail's here.
All right, guys. This is our segment, mailbag. You guys can email us at the show, cinemen921 @gmail.com, or hit us up on social media again, facebook.com/the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. So check us out as we get into the mailbag. I'm not going to read a lot because we're going over a little bit. Haley says, Nope was everything I expected, and then some. Has everyone ever had a start to their debut of directing 3 straight films like Jordan Peele has? I don't think so. Nope is a 9 for me.
George Lucas?
He directed something called THX. You might want to look into it. Nope.
I was just...
Jeffrey, you got to come up with your A-game cred with me.
Sorry.
Jeffrey said, Nope was unique, but at the end of the day, Peele's easiest movie to follow. A good, fun ride, 9 stars.
that's fair.
Kendall says, Nope is a classic, 9 stars. Alan says, Nope was just a phenomenal event. It is today's day and age version of Independence Day, 9 stars.
Wow.
I don't know what that means. There's no buildings that blew up. Sarah 97 says, Seen Nope in the IMAX, and it was phenomenal. I do wonder how it will hold up round 2, 8 stars.
Fair on that.
Henry says, I cannot wait for the Antichrist episode. I've been waiting for a podcast I listen to review it. What are you guys most excited Nick, I'm glad you joined over on Friday the 14th to talk about Antichrist.
You can be honest, Nick. Never having to talk to Johnny again after watching that. Just be honest.
Insta ban.
It's like we're gonna sorry to Juan's departure from the show.
I printed my own ticket on the way out of Friday the 14th.
It was a fun ride.
I just hope what I'm excited, Nick, you can follow if you want, but what I'm excited for about this conversation is I hope that everybody takes the massive Willem Dafoe that they see in the movie, and I hope that people take the extraordinary sexual scenes. I mean, that's in the movie, yeah, but take that and just put it in the back of your mind for now, because the story. No. And I'm gonna mute you because you sound like a big ass choo-choo train. The story between the beginning death all the way until technically a possession, and then the ending scene, the 2 characters, there's really only 3 characters in the movie, but the story and the overall like damnation that the 3 characters go through from act 1 to act 3 is just like scary. And I think that's what a really in-depth horror movie probably should deliver to you. So yeah, I mean, because of the director, yeah, there's all kinds of body parts and blood scenes that we may not want to see, but I think the story is really, really powerful behind the actual architect of what you see on TV or what you see on the movie.
Please use caution to any viewers who want to watch that.
Correct. It is very graphic, but I think the story behind it is telling. Nick, what about you? Like, have you heard about Antichrist before I suggested it for Friday the 14th?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard the name before. I feel like I've maybe caught glimpses of it, but just never to full on. I feel like I'm being put to a test here. Like, do you really
Nick-
like Willem Dafoe? Is that if you love Willem Dafoe,
wow.
you'd watch this? I
No,
thought
no.
you're putting me to a test there.
No test. I'm just like
Test.
it has been something that just has been on my mind for like
Just-
since
On your mind? What's been on your mind?
You'll find out.
it's almost kind of like Father's Day, that movie. Like it's a good movie to talk about and to show other people and to see what they might think about it. But I think the story behind Antichrist is a lot more deeper.
Nick, blink twice if you're in help. If you need trouble. If you're a help.
Oh, that's funny.
There's a reason we told him not to do it on this podcast.
Because honestly, with how sick Ed is, it'd probably just be me and Ed talking about the movie. I mean, he is the only one who talked The Exorcist with me.
That's not fair. I was gonna be there.
I thought you said you couldn't watch it in the
I
house.
watched it. I was ready.
He wasn't ready.
I was ready.
Sam G69, the 69er says, I couldn't get past how terrifying Nope was. I think he's the new master of suspense and the new master of horror. Scoot over Hitchcock. Jordan Peele knocked it out of this world. Nope gets a 10.
Not even the pack. Out of the world.
Out of the world. We'll finish up with this one just because we're running pretty late. Noah says, Nope was great, but is it the best movie of the year so far? It is, to me, 10 stars.
Damn.
So a lot of high grades, a lot of 9s, 8s, and 10s, guys. I thought we were going to get some mixed reviews, but it is week number 1. You know, those mixed reviews usually come in week 2 or 3, like Thor. You know, there's a lot of mixed reviews with Thor week 2 and 3. So should be interesting next Sunday. Now I can't even say next Monday. The audio version of this episode will still drop next Monday, August the 1st. But as far as watching us live here on this YouTube channel, everything, everywhere, all at once, next subject matter, Sunday, visually, July 31st, 1 p.m. live at Rodeo Cinema. Are you guys excited for round 2 live event, Rodeo Cinema, Sunday, 1 p.m.?
Ready to get my hands in there.
Nick, I'm expecting you to make the 11.5-hour trip from
Whoa.
from Texas to Oklahoma City. Edward will send you the Uber's on him, okay?
Oh yeah.
It's literally on his back. You have to hop on a little chair and he'll walk you up.
You've
there.
seen Jupiter, but now you have to ride Ed. No, I'm just messing with you. But no, everyone excited next this Sunday actually?
No.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Something I've
heard good things about it, but we'll see.
I say just watch it before Sunday because it's a film that requires your full attention. I'll just say that.
I'm gonna watch it after Sunday.
Just show up and be like, "Yeah, I'm just watching it with the crowd."
Yeah, the chick that was everywhere and anywhere.
All at once.
Yeah, all at once.
But yeah, that's our next episode. So does anybody have anything they want to skadoodle on with? Nick, are you excited for Wednesday? We got Antichrist this Wednesday. Other than that, do you have anything you want to mention or plug before you get out of here?
My goodbyes. No, I just want to say this is a fun time here. I mean, even though I can't really put too much input into that debate going on here.
Yeah,
if the ape was controlled by the aliens or it just snapped something. That's fun.
It's usually not like that.
You know, I seen it like it's like it went by. I was like, oh, I don't know, just one of those scenes. But just thinking about it now, like, damn, I'm just gonna sleep on it. Like,
it's like that damn monkey.
Well, what side is it, man? Was he possessed or not?
It's the possessed monkey from Family Guy.
Oh my god.
But also, I love the idea of like OJ, the dark theory. Did he actually die? It's pretty cool. I feel like
Something to think.
if they just make it canon, he died. It would have made the But yeah, if you want to follow me, you can follow me, of course, on the Friday the 14th podcast. You can follow me the 4K bag on Instagram, and that's about it. I'm ready to see some Willem Dafoe, I guess.
Willem Dafoe.
You're gonna see all of
And then with that,
Wednesday, July 27th, 8 p.m. Ed, do you have anything you want to add in before we check out and go on to Rodeo Cinema Sunday?
No, man, go out and see Nope. Other than that, gotta say happy birthday for that matter. And yeah, this is Ed saying I'll see you on the silver screen.
Happy birthday to who?
Craig, do you have anything you want to mention to any of the listeners out there before we get out of here?
You can go check out Wednesday's episode, but don't watch the movie. Watch their reactions and then watch the movie.
There you go. Zach, do you have anything you want to add into this episode before we see everybody Sunday?
Yeah, like Ed said, go check out Nope. Apparently, go see it on the biggest screen you can. I've heard really good things about that. Yeah, everything, everywhere, all at once at Radio Cinema this coming Sunday.
Don't forget, guys, A24 month starts Monday. Audio, August the 1st, 9 p.m. next Monday. Or you can join us live this Sunday for another live event. This Sunday, Rodeo Cinema, 2221 Exchange Avenue, right here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, for a live podcast viewing of Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, as A24 month kicks off Sunday, right here on the Cine-Men Movie Podcast.